Hey now, welcome back to our nightly walk-in tour. Come on down and we'll get you a bidet a day if you come and play at the Michael's Casino with Duran Duran and Say Say. Yeah, alright, we're sounding good. Sounds pretty funny. Yeah, I always like that kind of thing, wordplay. Yeah, so hope you guys had a great week. And I hope you guys had an even better weekend. It's Sunday, so we're all getting ready to go back to work tomorrow. And, could always be worse. No matter how bad things are, they could always be worse. I mean, yeah, of course, it could always be better at the same time. We could all be in a better position. We could all be making like boatloads of money, but at the end of the day, when you have your health, your family, every day above ground is a good day. What do I mean by that? Well, shit. Just look at what's going on in the world, It's like you could focus on the good, you could focus on the bad, or you can make sense of the good by looking at the bad. The way I, look at that is that there was the Total Florida Man story where the guy tried to walk onto Mar-a-Lago this morning with a shotgun and a tank of gasoline. I don't know what he was thinking he would accomplish. He did now. So, and then on the other side, you have, El Mencho, who was taken out by, the Mexican authorities, who was, they were led by Americans. And now I'm sure you've seen some, if not all, the footage of what's going on right now. Probably some of the wildest footage I've seen is the Costco being burned to the ground, and not burned to the ground, but it was definitely in a lot of flames in Puerto Vallarta. And when shit's going down in Puerto Vallarta, it's not looking too good. So, me personally, yeah, I spent some time with my family. My brother came over. We had a great meal, celebrated my birthday, talked about life. Yeah, I'm sure, things could always be better, but, what are you going to do? It's that's the zest of life that keeps us, working towards our betterment. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the whole point of what I wanted to try and say tonight, because I feel like lately I have been way too much on a doom and gloom kind of outlook, and that's warped my perception in some of my other videos. So I'm scared for the future, but at the same time, you have to be hopeful, otherwise what's the point? We can only do what we can do, I try to focus on what I can control, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, right? Because we can look at the news, we can focus on all the wrong things, like material possessions and equating someone's worth to, the possessions that they hold, which means nothing, really. I mean, today's people, it seems like it doesn't matter how kind they are, how thoughtful they are, how empathetic they are. Really just seems like, what can I get from this, this arrangement, this situation? And I thank the stars. I found my wife when I did, and we both had nothing, and we both had a goal to make something of ourselves and our lives, and we stayed true to ourselves, who we are, what we're about. And was it always easy? No. What in life is ever easy, you know? Did we argue? Of course. What couple doesn't have arguments, I would say, right? So, but, you know, if you care about something, if you love something, you're gonna fight for it. That's my experience about it, you know? And, you know, when you care for that person as much as they care for you, it's like, you feel like it's us against the world, and like no matter what happens, we're in it together, and we're gonna find a way. Because as cliche as it sounds, you know, when there is a will, there is a way. Like, you'd be surprised what you're capable of figuring out when, you know, your ass is on the hot seat and life is looking at you down the barrel, right? Because, you know, materialism, it means less and less to me the more and more I get older. I used to be obsessed about, you know, certain cars, about certain clothes, right? Everyone's now obsessing about getting a Louis bag, a Prada bag, getting the Gucci, whatever the case is, whatever your thing is. But at the end of the day, you're just a walking billboard for someone's company. That's all you are, you know. And it's really that the people who want the most are going to focus on the most insignificant things. Because you look at the people who are the most well off, they're wearing like Target, they're wearing no-name brands, they're wearing stuff that is, you know, has a high quality to it, but they're not trying to be noticed, right? And unfortunately, when, you know, you're poor, right, all you want is other people, or not poor necessarily, but when you're not well off, but you want to look well off, because you want the impression that you're doing very well in life, and you seek validation from people who do not care, right? And it reminds me of a fun saying about materialism is that, you know, and just how lost in the sauce we all are about it, is that we buy shit that we do not need, that we cannot afford, to impress people who do not care in the slightest. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people my age, you know, late 30s, early 40s, they're all starting to get that same vibe, like, I'm entering my, like, you know, I don't give a fuck phase of life, because that's really where you need to be, where your priorities need to be, is being fulfilled in life and doing what makes you happy. Without that, it's a pretty useless existence, typically, because all you're attracted to and attached to is all the wrong things that don't give you meaning, don't give you purpose. So, you know, I just thought it was time for me to talk about something, you know, that's better. Because, I mean, the fact is, it's like, yeah, our money ain't worth shit. It's taxed to no end. But hey, look at the other side of the world. The, you know, Iranian currency, it dipped below zero today. It looked like it was already fell off a cliff, and then it said, hey, let's go subterranean, you know, on this graph. So yeah, I mean, that really just helps me put things in perspective, that, you know, you focus on what you can control, otherwise you're going to end up in a, you know, a rabbit hole, and you're going to be in a bad place where you're not going to be able to find out how the hell to get out. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hope you guys are having a great night. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying warm. It's cold as hell. I don't know if you could say, I don't know why that phrase came up, cold as hell, but, you know, thinking about also doing some more talks about the, what is it? Epidemiology, the history of words, because we always say these fun phrases, you know, we have no idea where they come from. We just heard them growing up and we started saying them, like what's up, home skillet? Me and my friend were he was sending me a video kind of where that comes from, and shocker, just like most other things in, you know, American society, white culture, we stole it from the African Americans, because you guys are a hell of a lot, you know, more hip and cool than us squares. Let me tell you. That's, hey, you know, come for me in the comments if you think I'm off base, but yeah. So this is just me, you know, getting out here and telling you guys that if you want to focus on the bad, I mean, do it. It's only, you're gonna find more worse off in this world than the positive, and you'll find that it's the people who are most successful do the most by focusing on the positive. I was reading that Jeff Bezos, in his first year when he was, you know, trying to scale up Amazon, he was taking 6,000, 60,000, some obscene amount of number to get that first $1 million of seed funding. And it's true, like they say in a lot of finances, you know, it's like that first million is the hardest. How do I know? I'm almost there, and it's taken me forever to get there. So that's my take on it, you know. And it's all phantom wealth. It's all investments, property, 401k, right? And the second I touch it, it's all gonna get taxed to shit. So I have to be a good little boy and play this, you know, this game that we're all living in called American economics. Because every couple of years or so, it seems like, you know, the rules change and the game gets flipped on its head. So, like I said, I'm focusing on the positive. I'm focusing on right now, because that's all that matters. We can get hit by a bus. I could fall off this ditch and into this quarry over here, okay? And it's freezing cold, you know? Who knows? But yeah, I hope you guys are having the best time that you can have, because you're never going to be this young again, all right? And even if you're 30, if you're 20, and, you know, I was also thinking that, hey, you know what's funny? Why we are all so much more happier when we were kids, when we were teenagers, right? Everything, the whole nostalgia play that everyone says, oh, well, nostalgia this, nostalgia that. Nostalgia tugs at our heartstrings, right? And it really brings us back to this time where you know, our youth, our innocence, it was all, you know, the future was all a dream, right? It was all so far away, and we just went out, at least my generation, you know, people were born in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to going out, you know, 3, 4 o'clock after school or on the weekends, and you'd play with your, you know, friends, your neighbors that were, you know, lived next to you or in the neighborhood, and you guys rode your bikes, you went on hikes, you pretended you were cops and robbers, you know, played hide and seek, played tackle football, right? Played video games on your N64 till like 6 in the morning, playing James Bond or some fun little, you know, multiplayer side split screen game, right? I know if I did that, I definitely know you did that. All right, I'm just gonna say it, okay? So, yeah, and it really just speaks to me that, you know, we didn't understand life, we didn't know the pressures of life, we didn't know what the stresses our parents were going through, whether it was the personal finances or, you know, the marriage that they were in, you know, and everything was just so fresh, and we had no, you know, concept or construct on where life was going to go. All we knew was what we were told, and we, you know, were young and dumb and believed that, you know, we were going to be the next president of the United States, we were going to be an astronaut, we were going to be a firefighter. As we got older, you know, it's like that twinkle in our eye slowly, you know, dissipated, because we got a taste slowly and slowly, more responsibilities and more of what the world was expecting of us. You know, got to go to school, got to get good grades so you can go to good college, so you can get a good job, so you can get a good house, so you can have a wife and kids. And it just seems, you know, like we weren't really thinking about that. We were just enjoying ourselves. We were in our most unaware yet happy stages in life. Now everyone's different. I could be completely off base. Not everyone's childhood is the same. Not everyone has the same experience. So I get that, you know. But here's something fun to play with. Oh wait, I can't do that. I'm on this one. But look at where we are now. Just look at how beautiful this is. You know? Like, I wonder if you can see the stars from here. Probably not with this camera. But it's a beautiful night out right now. The stars are shining. I know in about a week or so, I think the 26th or the 28th, look it up, but all 6 of the planets are going to be in alignment, and it's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see something. If you're even able to see it, you know. But yeah, like I said, I'm focusing on just trying to have a good week, do the best I can with what I have at my disposal, because that's really all that matters sometimes, you know. Because if you focus on things you are trying to achieve, and you lose sight of the fact that, like I said, there's only so much we can do with what we have at our disposal. So I don't know, I just thought it was a real interesting way to look at things. So I hope you guys are having a great night. I'm rambling at this point. I'm probably going way too long. If you guys are still here, don't forget to hit the button, hit the sub, hit the like. Let's send this goddamn thing to the moon. All right, let's get some more subscribers on this channel. I'm doing everything in my power to entertain you guys, because I look at this as like the new age television, right? Because all TV now is a barren wasteland for billionaires to tell you what to think. Everyone, you know, everyone on the right and the left says the same thing, that the media's bullshit, the right's bullshit, the left's bullshit. Here's the thing. All of them are bullshit, because all of them are owned by billionaires, okay? So everybody, you know, each operation has their prerogative that they're trying to push and, you know, tell you what to think. I'm here just off the cuff, no script, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you don't, hey, there's like, you know, 5 million hours that are uploaded to YouTube every hour, so I'm sure there's something that you'll find. I hope you guys like this. If you guys want to hear more of this type of stuff, or you want to hear something else, let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, peace.